This is Dazatron, and welcome to a not so normal video from Dazatron's Diorama Llama. So, why is it not so normal? Well, I've kind of broken the promise that I made to myself, and I suppose to you guys really, in that I said I would try and get a video out each and every month. Bit difficult to do more than that. I don't get paid to do these videos, and I'm a teacher full time in a secondary school, which takes up a lot of my time. So yeah, so it's difficult to get out more than once per month, but I thought one a month, that's doable. And then September comes along and I'm here. I'm this guy, with a dreaded blank piece of paper. I'm not really sure what to do, where my inspiration is going to come from. And yeah, that's always a tricky place to be in, because you've got that creative itch. You want to do something, but you just don't know what you want to do. And I think we've all been there at some point, whether we're creatives or we think we're not creatives, because I actually think we all are creative in some way. We just like to maybe categorize things differently, and we might think that we're not artistic, so therefore we're not creative, or we might think that we're not kind of right side of the brain kind of people, or are we left side of the brain people, are we logical, but we're all problem solvers, and really problem solving is all about creativity. So whether you do that through computer games, or you do that through sport, or you do that through DIY, or you do it through performance, music, art, whatever it might be. But yeah, you don't have to be artistic to be creative. So we all get that itch where we want to just do something, and that was the reason really why I started this channel, was to kind of find a way of scratching that creative itch, but also sharing my love of toys, which is still there. And I suppose one of the reasons why I got into Transformers was because I just loved the engineering of the toys. It's way beyond my level of expertise. I'm not an engineer at all, but I just find it really interesting how they go from one mode to another mode, and that's what's kind of, I suppose, kept me invested in that particular genre of toys, really. And of course that's crossed over into lots of other 80s stuff, because I'm a nostalgia, so I do love Masters of the Universe, as you know, and Thundercats and other things from that era, and of course Micronauts, as we've got here. But yeah, it's that love of toys is a love of creativity. It's love of seeing other people's creativity. So I got to the end of August, which is kind of after I'd released my last video on the Aztec statues. And thanks for all of you who've tuned into that and watched it. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed making that one, and I was happy with the results. But then it's the what next. It's that blank piece of paper again, and I'd purchased really at the end of July for my birthday a PS Vita. So I hadn't played many games, for ages. In fact, I'm going to show my age now. The Game Gear was one of the last things, consoles that I had, which just goes to show how old I am. But yeah, I used to love playing fighting games, and so I thought I'd do a bit of research, and the PS Vita came up as one of the best consoles or handheld consoles for playing fighting games. So I thought, okay, I'm going to invest my birthday money into a Vita, and I've loved it. And that's the thing, this was another way of trying to scratch that creative itch, because it's problem solving. So, you're playing games, you have to think of a solution. Probably not so much in fighting games, maybe some more kind of like puzzle games. But it was still that thing, it was that kind of, it hit the kind of nostalgia, because kind of looking back and remember playing Street Fighter in the arcades at the cinema and stuff like that. And I do remember this one in particular, Darkstalkers. I never really played it when I was younger. I was more Street Fighter and Tekken. But then, yeah, I saw this, and there's just the character designs just really popped out. And this is the thing I'm kind of talking about, is when, I suppose in particular, not just like the problem solving creative side, but when you're an artist as well, is you do appreciate the artistry that you see from other people. And I was kind of being reminded of these character designs, and they're so unique compared to kind of Street Fighter and Tekken, which are your, you know, your more typical kind of designs. But then, I mean, you do get a few obviously standout characters as well, but all of these are just so unique in Darkstalkers. And then he got me looking at the art, and I started looking for one of the art books, which I was really annoyed because I couldn't get a hold of it without paying ridiculous prices. But all of that is just, again, it's kind of searching for that next bit of inspiration, you know, that's going to kind of start you off on a pathway, you know. And I suppose that's the thing I'm coming back to with the point of this video that I'm making today, is how do we scratch that creative itch? Do we just kind of keep doing what we're always doing, and or do sometimes you just have to kind of break away from that? And you've probably seen that if you followed my channel for a while. You've seen me do kind of just these, I suppose, just little videos that are not dioramas. You know, it might be a toy review or something like that. And I think all of that is me, yeah, trying to scratch that itch a little bit. Although this channel is a channel for diorama fans, and to teach people how to make dioramas, and to inspire people of all abilities to do that. That's the whole point of this channel, and that will always stay the same. But there are times where you just can't stick to the routine, and so it's been a real struggle to get a video out in the month of September, and here I am on the 1st of October kind of recording this video. I'm just trying to explain a little bit about why that is, and hopefully just to reassure some of you out there who get stuck yourselves. So it's a bit of an update and just a bit of a where I'm at, and just being honest, really, because I hope you appreciate that honesty. And yeah, feel free to comment about your own journey with that, if you struggle coming up with ideas sometimes, and how do you get past that, you know, because yeah, I think we all find that difficult. So one of the things that I've often, well, what I did with the channel was set myself that deadline, because deadlines are actually not a bad way to kind of help you be creative, because then you're kind of forced into doing it. You can't just kind of laze around, and we do that, don't we? Sometimes we just keep putting it off. And because I was resting in August anyway, because it's the school holidays, I just kind of kept putting things off. And you know, when you've got a deadline, you're then got to go, okay, let's think about something. But deadlines can also be restrictive. They don't always work. Sometimes they kind of force you into this kind of dead end, and you're not happy with kind of what you're doing. So I thought, okay, right, well, I'll go back to Dudley Society of Artists. This is an art group that I meet up with on a Wednesday, and they have a break over the summer holidays. So September, fantastic. I would go back and I'll just do a bit of sketching, which is usually what I do there, just for an hour and a half, maybe a couple of hours. There's a portrait model there, or should I say a sitter there, and yeah, you just get out the pencils, the pens, the paints, whatever you want to do, and you just have a go. And there's other like-minded people there, all abilities, and it's great just to kind of just to force yourself to do it, because you've paid for it, you're there, you sat with other kind of like-minded people who again just need that little bit of inspiration, and you just start drawing and see what happens. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And so that was great. I enjoyed that. I like trying out different materials, so I've got a bit of biro here and a bit of pencil crayon, kind of watercolor pencil crayons, and so that was great. That kind of ticked or scratched that creative itch. But then you're still back to, well, what next? Or just wait to the next session and just see how that goes, which is okay. Sometimes you have to do that, but sometimes you want something else. So So at the beginning of September, I also thought, right, okay, I'll sort out my workstation. So this used to be where my wife would sit and do her kind of sewing, embroidery, stuff like that. So this was kind of her space. But generally when she's sewing, she uses the dining room table. So we agreed, okay, I could have this space, which is brilliant. So we cleared it all out, all the material, and I've got me some new bits of kind of like drawers and stuff, and I started collecting bits of stuff because I'd seen on Pinterest, and if you are creative, I'd encourage you to look at Pinterest because it's great for ideas. Another figure called, I can't remember what it's called, but it's by Dam Studios. So Dam Studios do these really quite crazy. I don't know if they're based on games or what, but quite unusual toys. And as you know, I love my toys. You can see in my workspace here, I managed to get a few more bits. Some of my Transformers that were kind of spilling over from my kind of display shelves, and I've been able to put them on here. And you know, again, I love Transformers, I love the 80s stuff. But then I saw this, and it was nothing to do with the 80s, nothing to do with nostalgia. I just thought it looked cool. And, you know, he was this little figure with this kind of real, almost kind of like satellite kind of head, and in a business suit or an astronaut suit, I think there's a version. And I just thought it looked great. And suddenly you got that kind of little, the light bulb moment, you know, or that little, again, itch that makes you want to go, oh yeah, I want to do that. I want to have a go at that. And so I thought, right, okay, let's have a go at some kit bashing. Now again, I know this isn't have anything to do with dioramas, but it was a way of trying to scratch that itch. I thought, I could put it on the channel. I could show you how I made this this figure, and maybe you guys would be interested in that as well. And it would kind of kill two birds with one stone, scratch that creative itch, and create something for the channel. And then, yeah, maybe I would then go back to maybe some of the diorama stuff and kind of mix it up a little bit. And actually, do you know what? That was really good. I had a good couple of weeks in September. I got myself a new tool. Always like our new tools, don't we? And so this was a Dremel tool that I picked up. It was on sale from Screwfix, I think it was. Or no, actually it was from Homebase. That was it. And it come with a little set of kind of tools and stuff, not an excessive set, so I do need to kind of invest in some other bits and bobs for that. But I thought, yeah, that's what I need if I'm going to do some kit bashing and start kind of, yeah, chopping up figures and putting them together to create something new. And I do that because the thing about the damn toys, as beautiful as they are expensive. You're talking over 100 English pounds for a figure. So I didn't really have that money to invest in that at the moment. So I thought, yeah, okay, let's have a go at making that. So I picked up the Dremel and I started scouring the internet and charity shops to kind of just pick up bits and bobs. Managed to get a couple of kind of action men in there. Just little, yeah, all kind of got webcam there, which just all looked cool. Popped into Wolverhampton to the vintage toy shop there, and he tends to have like a kind of a bargain bin where you can just kind of pick up bits and pieces. So I picked up a bunch of stuff from there, just weird odds and ends. Didn't matter if they were broken, because that's the whole point, really. And if you don't know anything about kit bashing, it's kind of what they did on Star Wars. That's where the name came from. So when they were kind of creating, you know, the Millennium Falcon and all these kind of famous kind of ships within Star Wars, they were kind of looking at hobby kind of model kits and taking all the little bits, which are kind of all these nicely detailed bits and bobs from model kits, and then using those to kind of create the detail that you would see on the sides of the ships and stuff like that. So it was just a much cheaper way than having to kind of create all of that from scratch. And that was kind of the idea of kind of bashing together these kind of model kits. And then, you know, you got like scratch building and customizing, and it's all an extension of that. You know, taking something that already exists and adding to it or building things for it. So I managed to, yeah, get little bits from an old printer at work, and kind of, yeah, get bits and bobs from that, from kind of toys that were kind of broken. You can see you got a bit of a fossilizer there, and Adventure Time and bits and bobs. So yeah, so that even just the process of actually just kind of going hunting was really cool. I enjoyed that because we like toy hunting, don't we? We like looking for stuff. So he was scratching that itch of just wanting something new, wanting something different, the problem solving, the creativity. So yeah, all of that was kind of looking good. The difficulty, I would say, with kind of kit bashing or, you know, customizing stuff is kind of waiting for that kind of right part or finding the right fit, and that doesn't kind of always work. So yeah, so it's kind of that bit of like, there's the excitement of kind of finding new bits, and then there's the frustration of kind of not being able to find what you want. So then, you know, we do what we do, don't we? We look for other toys that already exist. So I already got a few bits in order, and I'd seen something on Facebook, so I managed to pick up New Age David, and I was really, really pleased because he came with his trailer, and the guy who was selling him sold him a really good price. And yeah, so that was like, oh, okay, right, I can do a new display then with this guy, you know, who's legend scale. So then you start thinking about that, think, oh, what could I do with this? And then I also picked up APC Toys Arachnid, which is awesome. I mean, an amazing figure. Absolutely love that mode. Looks great again on display, but quite, you know, it takes up a lot of room on a shelf. So I was thinking, okay, so maybe I could do a diorama for this. But I was thinking, okay, maybe I could do some trees. I haven't done trees yet, actually, on the channel, so that'd be something new. So that was sparking off ideas, but I couldn't quite just get started on it. So I kind of put that to one side, although that might be a future video. And do let me know again in the comments if you're interested in trees and stuff like that, and maybe me making some of those to see how that works out. So I went back to the kit bash and I thought, right, come on, let's go. And I started to have a bit of success. I found a cool guy, Action Man again, with this kind of astronaut suit, and I dyed it with some tea bags, and I managed to find some other little bits and bobs. And then my daughter, who was cleaning out her bedroom, because we kind of redid her bedroom as well in September, and she found Black Arachnia from Beast Wars, and she says, Dad, do you want that? It's missing some of its bits. And I says, yeah, I'll have it. And because it was missing some of its bits, I thought, okay, I'll put that with the kind of the scratch building kit bashing pile. And then lo and behold, I turn it around, and you have this weird kind of face staring at me, and I thought, yeah, that's it, that's the face that I want. And that was the face that I was happy with. I tried the weird things like this one here, and it works sometimes. There is a guy actually who does these weird kind of post-apocalyptic toys, but with like Winnie the Pooh faces and stuff, and I thought that was great. And I found this head, which I still want to use somewhere. Don't ask me where it's from. If you know, again, put in the comments, because I haven't a clue what it's from. For you guys, might recognise it, but I thought that would make a great helmet, or again, a great head. But yeah, just wasn't that happy with it. And then this thing just worked, and of course I've painted it up a little bit. I've painted it all black. There was it was kind of red and yellow. The legs were yellow, and those eyes were just black actually. So I've kind of painted those, and obviously added some bits in. like these bits here. And it was starting to kind of take on this kind of District 9 Elysium kind of feel to it. So kind of this weird kind of, I don't know, alien hybrid, organic, mechanical kind of thing going on. And I thought, it needs a cool weapon. So I managed to kind of fuse on this arm, which was from, actually, I think it's from like a Lost in Space toy. Managed to get some other bits and bobs. This is actually a hose, bit of a hose pipe. The end of a hose pipe. This was the top of just some kind of washing machine liquid. And so that started to come together. I thought, yeah, this kind of cool kind of laser kind of weapon. So I started to really get into that. This was really kind of scratching that creative itch, because it was kind of doing exactly what I wanted it to do. All the problem solving elements were there, about how can I kind of embellish this jacket with little bits and bobs and stuff, just to kind of make it stand out. But it just wasn't quite coming together enough for me to get a video out in time. And then I wanted to create a thing to go with it, maybe some kind of like droid type thing. So I started a second project, put that one on hold, and you find it, don't you, as a creative, again, whether you're an artist or not, you kind of move from one project to the next, and sometimes you never quite finish that one project because you're kind of moving around. And so to try and kind of meet that deadline sometimes, it doesn't always work as well as it could. So instead of me trying to finish the video on this, I start then making this thing. And again, I was pleased with the way it was coming along. I mean, it's not quite there yet. It obviously needs a lick of paint because it hasn't been painted at all. And again, this is using part of the Lost in Space kind of figure. I think this is from actually a Godzilla toy, if I remember right, from years ago. But then it's like, I don't know if that works for this guy. I don't know if he kind of sits alongside it. So then I was thinking, but he would work really well for kind of Micronauts. So, this guy can be kind of controlling, this little portable kind of cannon or tank type thing. So I thought, yeah, that could work. And then basically, I get to a point where I've kind of run out of time. And so I'm here at the end of September, beginning of October, and I haven't got a diorama video done. I haven't got my kit bashing video done. And so I'm also looking at Inktober. I'm thinking I want to do Inktober because that's forcing me to do a drawing every day. So this is really just, I suppose, me just being honest with you guys and just saying the videos, they will be back. Exactly when, I don't know, because I think I'm going to do Inktober for obviously the whole of October. I will, if you're interested, post some of those images that I make for October certainly on Instagram and social media. Do just look for kind of Dazatron's Diorama Llama if you're interested in my Instagram posts. Obviously that's usually for the YouTube channel as well, but you can see some of my other artwork as well if you look up Dazatron. And so so that might be October gone, so it might be November before I get another diorama video out. If I can get one in earlier, that would be amazing, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, that's just where I'm at the moment. So just apologies for not getting a diorama video out. Hopefully you've enjoyed just seeing where my kind of head's at and what projects I've got on the go, and hopefully you're interested in that. Let me know if you are, and if you want to see more of the kit bashing kind of customizing stuff. And again, any future ideas on the diorama stuff, because I do want to get back to that at some point. So thanks for listening, guys.
thanks for letting me kind of wattle on for a bit, and I'll see you soon. Do stay tuned. I will be back. Okay, see you guys.